if it loads.
Uh,
And Facebook is not going to let me load live. So it's all
oh,
good. We'll share it later.
okay.
All right. Welcome back, everybody. We are live, and Facebook still hates me, so I'm still restricted. And me and Lisa were just talking about this, that technology always acts up. So we are not live on Facebook, just YouTube. So it's okay. We'll send this out later on Facebook so you guys can watch it later. Of course, you can always put your comments and all that afterwards. And I do go back through and watch them. So I'll see what people say. And be nice. And if you're not, well, then fuck you. You know, we don't care. But all right, we're going to jump into it. Part of our mini series we've been doing for alternative medicine. We had the fitness done. We had the nutrition done. What else did we have done? We had a lot of stuff. So now we're getting into the spiritual side and like the metaphysical. So it's really cool and really important. I always push and push and push that you have to have all three of these things accurate, you know, your emotional, mental health, your spiritual health, and of course your physical health. And none of those can be like perfect without everything else lining up. So today, very, very special guest, good friend of mine. Thank you so much, Lisa, for joining us. It is huge to have you here. Thank you.
It's my pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Later, we're going to put up on here your banner and everything like that so people can find you and get your products as well. But let's jump into it. Let's talk about the alternative medicine side and what you do. We were kind of kidding around saying, you know, you're a jack of all trades in that field, but only the master of the one. So go ahead, take it away, and tell us what you do.
So, well, I actually just in the store here, I do Reiki, and I do hypnotherapy, but it basically it is just with the Reiki. So when people come in and they're very stressed or they're very anxious and they cannot relax, I do hypnotherapy with them to get them to be in an accepting environment so that they can accept the Reiki energy into their body. So once they're in that that deep meditative state, the Reiki energy flows a lot better through their body.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, because you can't be like all stressed out and tensed and all that while you're trying to like heal and move the energies because they just kind of stick there. So that's awesome, though. I'm sure it does have to go hand in hand to get them to that nice mental state before they can open up. So,
Yeah, and all hypnotherapy is self-hypnosis. So nobody ever has control over you. So
awesome. Yeah, and guys, if you have not been down to her shop yet, you know, we have thousands and thousands of listeners everywhere. So if you're in the United States, in New York, upstate New York, let me demographically put this into a funnel. Out in Morris, New York, guys, she has an amazing little shop there. It is so adorable, but there's so much there. Before we get deeper into the alternative medicine, can you talk about that a little bit, like what you do and what you sell, and obviously you're out there to help people, but your products are just amazing. So,
oh, thank you. We have crystals, and we also have Reiki charged candles, and they're all handcrafted. We also have gifts and incenses, books, and we actually have a reference library as well. So anybody who's looking for information can come and read through. It's like a little metaphysical library. So
that is so awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really huge. And one thing I think, especially with alternative medicine, or different modified medicine, there's so many different names. And doing more research and more research, I'm learning like it's wild. So learning about it is the keyest thing, is educating yourself on it and realizing like there are other ways to get healed, whether it's a mental thing, a physical thing. And again, like we said, the spiritual side really has a big factor. And it's funny, we always hear people like, praying to God or gods, whatever, people believe in. Like, oh, if this happened, then this could happen. Like, oh, I pray to God that my knee didn't hurt anymore. And, the 14 Vicodin I took, it was God who solved it. Well, it was probably the Vicodin you took. But there is a powerful energy when spirituality comes into healing, when there's nothing else that can help. And I'm sure you've heard all these crazy stories, and behind all different sorts of religions of people praying, the Reiki, I mean, just wild stuff where people get healed when they shouldn't have. They should have died, stage 4 cancer, let's say, all throughout your body. And, in 3 months, you have a miraculous recovery. Can you talk a little bit about that and kind of how, like, that works a little bit, like the spiritual side of healing?
Sure. The emotional body, the physical body, and the spiritual body all are connected. And so you cannot heal one without the others kind of going along. So you can heal when you're sick, you kind of feel down. Your emotions aren't really great. You're generally not feeling happy, and you're not really feeling connected spiritually. And it goes the other way too. When you're not feeling connected spiritually, it's very hard to heal on a physical level. So when you do feel connected, and when you're it's a lot easier to allow the body to heal. So it's very important that no matter what you're doing physically, you're also addressing the spiritual side of it as well. So it doesn't matter what your religion is, it doesn't matter what your spiritual beliefs are. Even if you're just getting out into nature and taking away your stresses or reconnecting with the earth, anything like that will help you to heal.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. And it's funny you say that because we literally, me and Steph, were just talking about this. One of our friends, we said, if you're feeling like you're stressed out or you have an off day, literally go outside and stand in the grass with your shoes off and just 5 minutes, or lay down in the grass and look at the clouds. And it's amazing how much just taking out a little bit of time can help de-stress and make you feel better internally. It's wild how the earth is a wild place that really can heal you in so many different ways.
Exactly. It connects you with the earth energy, and it allows your body to ground. And another thing that you can do is you can lean up against a tree, and the tree has sap flowing through it, like we have blood flowing through our veins. And so it is similar to our bodies in that it takes the energy from the earth and it takes the energy from the sky, and it transforms it into nutrients and things. But when we put our bodies up against the trees, it actually kind of sucks stress out from you. So when you're feeling very stressed and you're having a very hard time kind of grounding, and if you're trying to do meditations and you're really having a hard time meditating, one of the best things that you can do is go and sit up against a tree. It makes it much easier to kind of focus. So.
That's awesome. Yeah. And it's funny. I remember hearing about that, why it's important to sit like next to trees, or as cliche and hippie as it sounds, to hug a tree, but it really does make a big difference and really does help because, like you said, that sap, it's amazing how our bodies and the earth has so many connectivities and how we're so similar in so many different ways.
Yeah.
All right. Wow. Total brain fart there. Sorry. It's been a crazy, stressful day. I should probably go outside and sit next to a tree, to be honest with you. Actually, it's funny because I love water and fire, and for some reason, like, those are my elements. And when I sit in front of a fire, or if I'm down by a lake or a river, like, that just really calms me and grounds me down. I remember being in AIT and doing water treatment. We were always around some kind of water source, whether it was a pond or a river. And in Virginia, where I was, there was this beautiful river, and there was always barges going through. But this one section we did, it was probably like mid-spring, and we were able to have our lunch outside. And I remember sitting next to the river and just eating and thinking, like, this is the most peaceful place right now. Like, I have all the crazy trainings and how stressed out we were all the time and, like, no sleep. It was just like that 30 seconds was just, like, so grounding. It was so beautiful. So.
Mm-hmm. And one of the things that I like to do with some of my clients is, if they're having pain or if they're having any negative energies going on around them, is to take just a stick or even a stone, something like that, and
Mm,
hold it, especially even during like a Reiki practice. And when they're feeling a negative energy or when they're feeling a negative thought, is to kind of, I know it sounds very hippie-ish, but kind of put that thought into that stone or into that stick and just kind of lock it away in there. And then
yeah,
we're right next to a creek. So then we go across the way to the creek and you toss it in there and just let the water carry it away.
yeah.
So it's
Oh,
actually
that's
very
awesome.
healing. It's a physical manifestation of letting that stuff go.
Absolutely.
So
I like the way you do that too, is like throwing it away because you can they can literally connect it and say, okay, there's all the bad stuff. Leave that behind and let it go. And that's
mhm,
awesome. That's so
yeah,
cool. So with the Reiki, am I pronouncing it Reiki?
Reiki.
Reiki. Okay.
Mhm.
Um, so for a session, what is that kind of details? Like, what are your details for doing sessions? Like the time and price and stuff like that.
Oh, normally a first session would run about 45 minutes to an hour, mainly because I'm sitting down and I'm talking with you to find out what your expectations are, what's going on with you, and just kind of doing intake. And then we go and we do the actual session, and that can be about a half hour to 45 minutes. But it's mainly just going through the body and feeling the energy that's coming from the body and where there are blockages, and the allowing me to help channel the energy to your body. And because really all of our bodies instinctually know what to do with that energy.
Mm,
um, so it's kind of, we all kind of use a little bit of it. So it's an instinct. So when
mm.
you bang your hand and you rub it, it's kind of manifesting that energy in there to kind of get that pain to go away.
Yeah,
So that's actually one of those things, because it brings that warmth in there and you're kind of pushing that energy around in
that's
there. So that's,
circulation. Yeah.
yes. So it is, but once you're attuned to it, once you're attuned to the Reiki, it helps it to flow a lot better. So our
Mm,
bodies do know what to do with it. But when you're in a Reiki session, the practitioner, when they're helping to channel the energy, it just helps it to flow better
mm.
through the body. And we can generally sense where the body needs it a little bit more and help it to get there.
That's awesome. It reminds me a lot of like doing the massage therapy as well, like because I go once a month, at least once a month. And one of the first things we did too when me and my therapist sat down was talk about like, okay, where are the pains, what's actually hurting, and finding out and knowing it wasn't just jumping in there and saying, okay, we're just gonna start cracking and popping and moving this and that. So that's awesome though. Like I think that's especially active duty. Um, should go through that at least once a month to get some of that energy moving and everything like that because they're so stiff and so tired all the time. I think that would be a huge thing for them. That would be so cool.
It's very good for the body. It's very good because it can go um, with any sort of treatment. So any sort of treatments that you're getting from a regular allopathic doctor or a naturopathic doctor. So if you're going to a regular general practitioner who's doing medications for you, things like that, of course you want to check with them. But Reiki is non-invasive,
Mm,
and so it really cannot really hurt
no.
to work.
Yeah, it's
So
like silly. Like, why wouldn't you do it? Why wouldn't you try it at least and open your mind up and see all the different ways you can heal yourself? I mean, people are so I feel they're so kind of closed minded because we've been kind of transformed and brain I don't want to use the word brainwash, but pretty much brainwash to say, okay, go to your doctor, they're gonna give you a pill, this pill's gonna make everything go away, and so on and so
mhm.
forth. And we kind of forgot, even in the early 1900s is when like a lot of the medicine really started going. Prior to that, a lot of us, like we're 100 years old, a lot of us as in like humans, we're going to what they would call like the witch doctor, the voodoo doctor, or a general practitioner who was all about like, okay, here, have this mushroom. Obviously they watch you and everything, but like have this or do this or hey, this energy needs to be placed here, and there wasn't all this medicine out there, and thankfully we do have the medicine. But going back to our roots and really understanding ourselves as humans and how we connect with the world, I think is 90% of what most people need for healing, especially with a lot of mental health. Um,
Hmm. Agreed.
would you say, like, for your patients and your customers, is it more of a yes, they probably have physical pain, but do you feel a lot of them have like a lot of mental health issues, like myself, who have like the anxiety, depression, things like that? Is
I
it
think that
like,
everybody that walks through these doors, whether they're a Reiki client or not, has stress.
yeah,
I think we
absolutely.
all do. And we can all, uh, as Americans, we do need some sort of stress outlet.
Mm,
And getting rid of stress is probably one of the foremost things that we can do to help our bodies to just kind of find balance, because that's one of the major factors in illness. So I
absolutely.
think that anything that's going to relieve stresses in our lives is going to help. But as far as as far as like anxiety and depression, yes. Yeah, I do think that a lot of the people who come through for Reiki do have those things.
Absolutely.
So,
That makes sense. And so we touched on the alternative medicine stuff a little bit. And I probably should have opened this, the history between I say Stephanie, me, and you, even though she hates being thrown in on stuff, of how we actually met, because people were like, oh, these people were just weird. They just met somewhere, and now they're talking about crystals and wild, witchy stuff and what's going on here. So yeah, tell the people how we actually met, and how I feel it was kind of like ironic how we were put next to each other on purpose, and it was just everything happens for a reason. I love our story.
hmm well, we decided that we were going to do an open air market when our plans for doing a book and tea shop were kind of thwarted by COVID. So, my daughter Adine and I decided that we were going to do an open air market, and we decided to do Creekside, which was out in Middleburg. I don't know why we picked it. We just did. I think that it was because it was probably the most welcoming one.
Yeah,
So,
they are very nice.
um, yeah, so we went there, and the first time I think we met you the first day that we were there, and then the second time that we went, the Cindy ended up putting us right next to you guys, and that was like history.
Yeah, yeah,
And then we
and
just started talking, and that was it.
yeah, and it's amazing. A lot of people who follow me on Facebook and stuff, they've read the story, what I put out earlier this week. But it is amazing, like how we just instantly connected, and it was just like a
Yeah.
very simple. Everything felt good and natural. It wasn't like we were trying to like really sell each other or anything. It was just like, hey, you're cool, I'm cool. Let's chat. Let's talk about this stuff. Um,
Exactly.
and down at Creekside is really, I feel it's like a big family almost.
It
And
is.
there's some real crazy people down there, which is awesome because it makes the day interesting. Um, but then, yeah, you guys came up for Fourth Friday, and we got you. I think,
Yeah.
did we get you? I forgot how that worked, but you
You
got in
guys
at
got
Fourth
us in
Friday.
before Friday, and it was fantastic. It's
Yeah,
why I keep going up there. It's like it's hour and 20 minutes away, but
yeah,
I can't stop going up there because I love the people up there so much.
yeah. And there,
And
one
so,
thing I realized too, like at your tent, like people are generally inquisitive. They want to know what this crystal does, or what this does, or what our
mhm,
product is, like what things mean, and they're actually trying to get educated on it. And you take the
yeah,
time and you teach people and you help people, and it's not about trying to get a sale, it's about educating the people and then leave it up to them. And I think
yeah,
that's where you stand out totally different than most people, because most people are just, oh, I gotta get a sale, I gotta get a sale.
yeah. I mean, really, education is the main. It is really the main thing,
Mhm.
and then because yeah, we could sell a crystal to somebody, but if unless it's something that they're looking for, then it's not, it doesn't mean anything. It's just, I hate to say it, but it's just a rock or it's just a stone.
Yeah.
So I would much rather have it mean something to them, because then the next time that they're looking for something or they want a crystal for something, they know that they can come to us and we'll help them find something. And if we don't have something that they need, we'll help them find a place that does.
Yeah, I
So
think that's huge.
yeah, and it just, I've always I've always been like that, and I don't mind if I don't. make a sale off of it. I'd rather see somebody happy because I know that they'll come back to me the next time when they're looking for something, because even if we don't have it, they know that I'll help them find it. So
Absolutely, and I think that's huge. You and your daughter are just so open and warm and comfortable, and I feel like anybody can just talk to you, and I tell anybody who's listening right now, definitely contact her because she will definitely hook you up with the right information, the right way. And like she even said, it's not about making sales, it's about helping people and getting that education out there. I'm actually going to throw up right now where to find her website right here underneath. And for people listening and not watching, it's www.bewitchmejoyful.com. And I'll spell that, and I'm going to spell it fast, so catch on. BEWITCHMEJOYFUL, bewitchmejoyful.com. And guys, check her site out. I mean, really, I love the way the site is too. I know we've been working together trying to get some new stuff in here, and I just love like the colors, the whole layout of it. It's very warming and welcoming. It's not your typical like, oh, here, buy this. It's just like, hey, I want to like just see what's on this page, and it's very inviting to scroll through and see what's on there.
thanks.
So it's really, you guys did a great job with that.
Thank you. And yeah, check out the blog too, because the blog has information on it as well.
Yes.
I haven't written in a long time, but cold weather's coming up, so you never know.
Now, I was going to ask you that too. For the winter time, obviously, we're not really doing a lot of outside flea markets and stuff like that for our products. Is it like kind of your time to kind of recharge and redo everything for the business and kind of think of like, what do you do in the winter for that? Obviously, you guys have like the brick and mortar, but.
Yes, we do. And I do, we actually have the website, and then I do live sales also, mostly crystals, but some other things also on whatnot.com. So that's another one too. And then also especially last year, we did a couple classes, and I probably will this year as well. So if anybody has an interest, and if there's something you want to do, let me know. But then probably between January and February, the store may not be open as much just because of the coldness and snow. And here in Morris, it just snows every day. So
Yeah,
it gets tough. But I'll be doing more online. So we'll probably just have more stuff online.
Cool. I'm really excited to see how it goes, not only this winter, but also like the future for you guys, because I feel it's that kind of slow start, but once it hits, like you guys are going to, and you guys do great business now, but really I think you're going to go right through the roof and just kill it, because you guys do have the right meanings and the right reasons why you're doing this stuff, which is huge. So where else? I know we showed the website. Is there any other contact info you want to share with everyone so that they can get a hold of you?
They can call at the store anytime. The store number is 607-267-0617. Or
What's the last four again? I'm sorry.
The last four?
Yep.
0617.
Okay, I'm going to put that up so people can see that too, so they can call. Right there, guys. There's a number.
And other than that, you can either reach us through the website or you can email us too, and it's bewitchmejoyful@gmail.com.
Awesome. That's so great. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I really hope you guys blow up, because it's an amazing thing you're doing, and you're helping so many people. And last story, and then we'll head out here. I remember you gave me this blue ribbon, right? So I put it on my bike, and I still have that ribbon, and I still ride with it. And some people ask me, "Oh, what's with the blue ribbon thing?" And I explain to them that, well, my good friends gave it to me for protection, and this past year has been crazy with animals. I don't know if it is by you too, but like the deer seem to have even less common sense now, and the bears are just all over. Last year I almost got ran over by a bull, like a legit like cow bull, horns.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, down the road from me. Stephanie actually had to take the Jeep and like drive next to me, so it was wild.
Wow.
But that ribbon has saved my life so many times on so many close calls, and a lot of bikers have like bells on the bottom of their bikes and all that. But this ribbon,
Mhm.
since you've given it to me, has been like a lifesaver. It really has. So thank you so much for that. That's so
Oh,
huge.
it is my pleasure. Anytime.
Yeah, I think, like we say too, it's maybe not that physical ribbon, but the intentions and the energy behind it, and
It is.
even switching my handlebars and everything, like that ribbon has just stayed so tight on there and so great, and it's been awesome. So I
Yeah.
appreciate that very much.
Oh, thank you. It's definitely the intention behind, so
Yeah,
more than the actual object, but
I agree. I agree. Yeah, so guys, we're gonna be wrapping it up. Remember, alternative
okay.
medicine does actually work. Go see Lisa, get some Reiki done, get some, pick up some products there. You will not be sad with it or disappointed at all. We have a bunch of stuff between tapestries, candles, crystals. I'm like looking over because there's like our whole living room is decorated with it, um, which is amazing. So definitely go check her stuff, guys, out. Wow. Blah, blah, blah. See, TBIs. Wind chimes. The wind chimes, yes. Get your wind
Oh,
chimes.
yeah.
They're so
They
selling,
will
right?
they will knock the stress right out of you.
Yeah. But go check her stuff out, everyone. And we will see you on the next show. So, guys, actually, Lisa, anything last you want to say before we head out?
No, thank you so much for having me on. I really enjoyed this, even though I'm a nervous wreck. It's all good.
It's all good. See, it's just general conversation and having fun. And I really
Yeah.
didn't swear that much either. I've been trying to clean myself up, but it's really fucking hard sometimes. um,
Right?
it's been a positive 2 years, so I've been doing good with it. Yeah, next month is
Awesome.
actually our 2-year mark of when we started.
That is
Which,
fantastic.
yeah, it's crazy. It doesn't even feel that old, but wow, insane.
Yeah. Wow, that's really good.
Yeah,
And you have a really good following too, so that's fantastic.
yeah. The listeners are very loyal, which is a good thing. We actually saw a sweatshirt yesterday at Stewart's. I'm trying to remember who. Oh, Stephanie's friend Renee. It was her mom who had one of our hoodies on from when we first ran about, and I'm like, oh my god. So we ran up to her like, oh my god, your hoodie. So it's really cool. Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah. So it's a good thing. So all
Oh,
right. Thank you so much again. This is
thank
amazing.
you.
Hang on, I'll end the podcast and then we'll chat offline for a couple minutes and then we'll be good to go. Guys, everyone listening, thank you so much. Definitely share, like, do all the stuff. Keep us growing. We're almost at 1,000 listeners now. Multiple countries between like India, Brazil. There's just so many. Almost all the states now. I think we're about 35, 36 states, and we're opening cities all the time. So if you're new to the show and I found your city, thank you so much. Share it with all your friends. And like we always say, stay triggered.